Right now, as you rest comfortably wherever you are, something magnificent is happening all around you. The very ground beneath you is moving through space in the most graceful dance imaginable, carrying you along on a journey that creates the gentle rhythm of seasons. Feel your body settling into this moment, noticing how the air around you holds the particular quality of this season, whether it's the crisp clarity of winter, the tender warmth of spring, the full embrace of summer, or the golden peace of autumn. You are experiencing something that connects you to the deepest rhythms of our planet. Your body knows this rhythm intimately, even if your mind has never considered it before. Every cell within you responds to the subtle changes in light and temperature that mark Earth's eternal seasonal breathing. Imagine, if you will, that you could step back and see our beautiful blue planet floating in the vast darkness of space. From this peaceful vantage point, you would notice something extraordinary about Earth's posture as it travels around the sun. Our planet doesn't sit upright like a spinning top. Instead, it tilts gently to one side, leaning at an angle of exactly 23.5 degrees. This gentle tilt is the secret behind every season you have ever experienced. It's the reason for every spring morning that has ever filled your heart with hope, every summer day that has warmed your skin, every autumn evening that has painted the sky in golden hues, and every winter night that has invited you to rest deeply. As Earth travels its yearly path around the sun, this tilt means that different parts of our planet lean toward or away from the sun's warming rays. Right now, in this very moment, your location on Earth is positioned at a specific angle to receive the sun's light in a way that creates the season you're experiencing. If you're in the embrace of winter, your part of Earth is tilted away from the sun, receiving its light at a gentle slanted angle. The sun's rays spread themselves thinly across the landscape, creating the soft, contemplative quality of winter light that invites rest and reflection. If spring surrounds you, Earth is beginning to tilt your region back toward the sun's direct gaze. The light grows stronger each day, awakening the sleeping world with increasing warmth and the promise of new growth. Should you find yourself in summer's embrace, your part of Earth leans most directly toward the sun. The light arrives at its strongest angle, concentrated and powerful, filling each day with energy and the fullness of life in bloom. And if autumn holds you gently, Earth is beginning to tilt your region away from the sun's direct rays. The light grows softer and more golden, creating that particular peaceful quality that makes autumn evenings feel like a gentle blessing. This tilt never changes. Through all of Earth's journey around the sun, through every season that has ever been or ever will be, our planet maintains this same gentle lean. It's as if Earth chose long ago to dance rather than simply march through space. This elegant tilt transforms what could have been an endless, unchanging journey into a graceful waltz of light and shadow, warmth and coolness, growth and rest. You are part of this dance right now. Your body, your breath, your very presence participates in this cosmic choreography that has been unfolding for billions of years. As you breathe in, imagine drawing in the particular quality of light that reaches you because of Earth's current position in its seasonal dance. As you breathe out, feel yourself releasing into the perfect timing of this eternal rhythm. There's something deeply comforting about knowing that the season surrounding you right now exists because of something as simple and reliable as Earth's gentle tilt. No matter what changes occur in your daily life, this fundamental rhythm continues, steady and trustworthy. Tomorrow, Earth will have moved a little further along its orbital path, and the angle of sunlight will have shifted by the tiniest amount. The season will have progressed by one more day in its eternal cycle. But tonight, you can rest in the perfect positioning of this moment. Earth holds you at exactly the right angle to receive exactly the right quality of light and warmth for this time, this season, this breath. And as you settle deeper into comfort, you might find yourself curious about how this simple tilt creates such a magnificent variety of seasonal experiences across our planet. How does this gentle lean transform into the rich tapestry of seasonal change that touches every living thing on Earth? As you rest in the understanding of Earth's gentle tilt, let your imagination expand to embrace an even more beautiful truth. Our planet doesn't simply tilt as it moves through space. It dances in an elegant oval pattern around the sun, creating what astronomers call an elliptical orbit. Picture yourself floating peacefully above this cosmic dance, watching Earth trace its graceful path through the darkness. The journey takes exactly 365 and a quarter days, the same reliable rhythm that has marked every year of your life. This orbital path isn't a perfect circle, but rather a gentle oval, like the shape you might trace with your finger on a calm pond. Sometimes Earth draws closer to the sun, and sometimes it travels a bit further away. You might imagine that Earth feels warmer when it's closer to the sun and cooler when it's farther away. But here's where the dance becomes truly magical. The distance matters much less than you might expect. Right now, in the depth of winter for the northern hemisphere, Earth actually travels closer to the sun than it does during summer. This beautiful paradox reveals that Earth's tilt, not its distance, conducts the symphony of seasons. When your part of Earth tilts toward the sun, the light arrives at a direct angle, concentrated and warming. Even if Earth happens to be slightly farther away in its oval orbit, this direct angle creates the warmth and energy of summer. When your region tilts away from the sun, the light arrives at a slanted angle, spreading itself gently across the landscape. Even if Earth is actually closer to the sun in its orbit, this gentle angle creates the soft, contemplative quality of winter. It's as if Earth has chosen the most elegant solution possible for creating seasonal change. Rather than relying on the simple approach of moving closer and farther from the sun, our planet uses the sophisticated choreography of tilt and orbit together. This means that as you experience your current season, you're participating in a dance that involves both Earth's steady tilt and its graceful orbital waltz. These two movements weave together to create the particular quality of light and warmth that surrounds you right now. Feel how your body naturally responds to this cosmic positioning. In winter, you might notice how you naturally want to rest more, to move more slowly, to seek warmth and comfort. In summer, you might feel naturally more energetic, drawn to activity and growth. These aren't random preferences, but rather your deep cellular wisdom responding to Earth's position in its seasonal dance. Your body knows exactly where Earth is in its orbital journey, even if your conscious mind has never considered it. As Earth continues its oval path around the sun, it maintains perfect timing. The planet never rushes through its orbit, never slows down unexpectedly, never deviates from the graceful rhythm that creates the reliable progression of seasons. This reliability has allowed life on Earth to develop intricate relationships with seasonal change. Plants know exactly when to bloom because they can sense Earth's position in its dance. Animals know when to migrate or hibernate because they feel the subtle shifts in Earth's orbital rhythm. And you too carry this ancient wisdom in your cells. Your body knows how to respond to each season because it remembers billions of years of Earth's faithful orbital dance. Tonight, as you rest, Earth continues its gentle journey around the sun. While you sleep, the planet will travel approximately 1.5 million miles along its orbital path, carrying you safely through space at a speed of about 67,000 miles per hour. Yet this incredible journey feels perfectly still and peaceful because you travel together with Earth, held safely in the embrace of its gravitational field. You are not separate from this cosmic dance, but an integral part of it. As Earth moves through its orbit, the angle at which sunlight reaches your location changes gradually, day by day. This creates the slow, gentle progression of seasonal change that allows life to adapt and respond naturally. There's something deeply soothing about knowing that you're part of this reliable cosmic rhythm. No matter what uncertainties might exist in daily life, Earth's orbital dance continues with perfect consistency. Tomorrow, Earth will be positioned at a slightly different point in its oval orbit, and the sun's light will reach you at a minutely different angle. The season will have progressed by one more day in its eternal cycle. But right now, in this moment, you can rest in the perfect positioning of Earth's current place in its orbital waltz. The planet holds you at exactly the right distance and angle to receive exactly the right quality of sunlight for this time, this season, this peaceful breath. And as you settle even deeper into comfort, you might find yourself wondering about this sunlight itself. How does the changing angle of the sun's rays transform into the rich variety of seasonal experiences that touch every part of your life? Right now, as you rest in the gentle understanding of Earth's orbital dance, sunlight is traveling 93 million miles through space to reach you. This light left the sun's surface just over 8 minutes ago, and it arrives at your location at precisely the angle that Earth's tilt and orbital position create in this moment. The magic of seasons lies entirely in this angle. When sunlight arrives at a steep angle, hitting Earth's surface almost directly, it concentrates its energy into a smaller area, creating warmth and the bright intensity of summer. Imagine sunlight as a gentle river of energy flowing from the sun toward Earth. When this river hits the ground straight on, all of its energy pours into a concentrated space, like water flowing directly into a narrow container. But when Earth's tilt causes sunlight to arrive at a shallow angle, this same river of energy spreads itself across a much larger area. The light becomes gentler, more diffuse, creating the soft quality that makes winter light feel so different from summer's direct rays. You can feel this difference in your body right now. If you're experiencing winter, notice how the light around you has a particular gentle quality, even during the day. This light has traveled the same distance from the sun as summer light, but it reaches you at an angle that spreads its energy across a wider area. If summer surrounds you, feel how the light seems more direct and concentrated. The sun climbs higher in the sky, and its rays strike Earth's surface at a steeper angle, focusing their energy more intensely. This simple geometry of angles creates every seasonal change you have ever experienced. The same sunlight that warms summer afternoons becomes the gentle glow of winter mornings simply by arriving at a different angle. As Earth continues its orbital journey, this angle changes gradually day by day. In the depths of winter, sunlight arrives at its most shallow angle for your location. The sun appears low in the sky, and its rays spread themselves gently across the landscape. Day by day, as Earth moves through its orbit, the angle grows slightly steeper. The sun climbs a little higher each day, and its light becomes gradually more concentrated. This creates the slow, beautiful progression from winter toward spring. At the spring equinox, sunlight arrives at a moderate angle, neither too shallow nor too steep. Day and night balance perfectly, and the light carries equal measures of winter's gentleness and summer's growing strength. As Earth continues its dance, the angle continues to steepen. The sun rises higher and higher in the sky, and its light becomes more and more concentrated. This creates the warming progression from spring into summer. At the summer solstice, sunlight reaches its steepest angle for your location. The sun climbs to its highest point in the sky, and its rays focus their energy most intensely. This creates the peak warmth and brightness of summer. Then, as Earth continues its orbital journey, the angle begins to shallow again. Day by day, the sun's path across the sky becomes slightly lower, and its light spreads itself across a gradually wider area. This creates the gentle cooling from summer into autumn. At the autumn equinox, sunlight once again arrives at that perfect, moderate angle. Day and night balance equally, and the light carries the warmth of summer's memory mixed with the approaching gentleness of winter. As Earth completes its orbital dance, the angle continues to shallow until it reaches winter's gentle minimum once again. The cycle completes itself perfectly, ready to begin anew. Your body knows this rhythm of changing angles intimately. In winter, you naturally seek the warmth of direct sunlight, positioning yourself to catch the sun's gentle rays. In summer, you might seek shade, instinctively understanding that the light's steep angle concentrates more energy than your body needs. This ancient wisdom lives in every cell of your being. Your skin knows how to respond to different angles of sunlight. Your eyes adjust naturally to the changing quality of light throughout the year. Your entire being participates in this dance of angles and energy. Even now, as you rest, your body continues to respond to the particular angle of sunlight that reaches your location. Your circadian rhythms adjust to the length of day and night that this angle creates. Your sleep patterns naturally align with the seasonal rhythm of light and darkness. There's something deeply peaceful about understanding that all seasonal change springs from something as simple as the angle of sunlight. No complex mechanisms, no unpredictable forces, just the reliable geometry of Earth's tilt, creating an endless variety of beautiful experiences. Tomorrow, the sun will rise at a slightly different angle than it did today. The light will arrive at your location with a minutely different quality, marking one more day's progress in the eternal seasonal cycle. Tonight, you can rest in the perfect angle of this moment's sunlight. Even in darkness, you are held by the memory of today's light and the promise of tomorrow's gentle change. As you breathe slowly and peacefully, you might find yourself curious about what happens when this changing sunlight touches Earth's surface. How does the simple geometry of light angles transform into the rich tapestry of warmth and coolness that creates the thermal rhythm of seasons? As sunlight touches Earth's surface at its ever-changing angles, something beautiful begins to happen. The light transforms into warmth, and this warmth begins a gentle migration across the planet's surface, following the seasonal rhythm of Earth's orbital dance. Imagine Earth's surface as a vast, living blanket that breathes warmth in and out with the changing seasons. During summer, when sunlight arrives at steep angles, this blanket absorbs energy eagerly, storing heat in soil, rocks, water, and all the materials that make up the landscape around you. Right now, beneath your feet, the ground holds the thermal memory of recent seasons. If you're experiencing winter, the earth below you has slowly released the warmth it gathered during summer's direct sunlight, cooling gradually as the sun's angle became more shallow. If summer surrounds you, the ground beneath you is actively absorbing and storing the concentrated energy of the sun's steep rays. Each day adds more warmth to this underground reservoir, creating the steady heat that makes summer nights feel warm and comfortable. This thermal breathing of Earth's surface happens at different rates in different materials. Soil and rock absorb heat slowly and release it slowly, creating a steady, reliable foundation of seasonal temperature change. Water, however, dances to a different thermal rhythm. The lakes, rivers, and oceans around you absorb enormous amounts of heat during summer, storing this energy in their depths. But water releases this stored warmth much more slowly than land, creating a gentle lag in seasonal temperature changes. This is why early autumn often feels warmer than early spring, even though the sun's angle is similar at both times. In autumn, bodies of water are still releasing the heat they stored during summer's direct sunlight. In spring, these same waters are still cool from winter's gentle rays. You can feel this thermal migration in your own experience of seasons. The warmest days of summer often come not at the summer solstice when sunlight is most direct, but several weeks later when Earth's surface has had time to absorb and accumulate the sun's concentrated energy. Similarly, the coldest days of winter typically arrive not at the winter solstice when sunlight is most shallow, but in the weeks that follow as Earth's surface continues to release the last of its stored warmth into the cooling air. This creates what scientists call seasonal lag, the beautiful delay between the sun's changing angle and the full expression of seasonal temperature. Think of it as Earth's way of smoothing out the sharp edges of seasonal change. Rather than experiencing abrupt shifts from hot to cold, the planet's thermal mass creates gentle transitions that allow life to adapt gradually. Your body participates in this thermal migration in countless ways. In winter, you naturally seek warm spaces and surfaces, instinctively understanding that stored heat can provide comfort even when the sun's rays are gentle. In summer, you might seek the coolness of shade or water, knowing that these spaces offer relief from the accumulated heat of the season. Even the foods you crave change with the thermal rhythm of seasons. In winter, you might desire warm, hearty meals that help your body generate internal heat. In summer, you naturally gravitate toward cooling foods and drinks that help your body release excess warmth. This thermal wisdom extends beyond your conscious choices into the automatic responses of your body. Your metabolism adjusts to seasonal temperature changes, working harder to maintain warmth in winter and more efficiently releasing heat in summer. Your blood vessels dilate and constrict with seasonal temperature shifts, helping your body maintain perfect internal temperature regardless of the thermal conditions around you. Your skin responds to seasonal warmth and coolness, becoming more sensitive to heat in winter and more tolerant of warmth in summer. Even your sleep patterns follow the thermal rhythm of seasons. In winter, you might naturally want to sleep longer, conserving energy when the world around you is releasing stored heat slowly. In summer, you might feel naturally more active and need less sleep, energized by the abundant thermal energy that surrounds you. As you rest tonight, you can feel this thermal migration continuing around you. If it's winter, the ground beneath you is slowly releasing the last warmth of autumn, creating a gentle cooling that invites deeper rest. If it's summer, the earth below you is storing the day's heat, creating a warm foundation that supports comfortable sleep. The air around you carries the thermal signature of this season, whether it's the crisp coolness of winter that makes breathing feel clean and refreshing, or the warm embrace of summer that allows your body to relax completely. There's something deeply comforting about knowing that you're surrounded by Earth's thermal breathing. This warmth that touches your skin and fills your lungs has traveled from the sun, been transformed by Earth's surface, and now offers itself to you as a gift of seasonal comfort. Tomorrow, this thermal migration will continue its eternal dance. The sun will rise at its appointed angle. Earth's surface will absorb or release heat according to the season's rhythm, and you will be held once again in the perfect thermal embrace of this moment in the yearly cycle. And as you settle deeper into the warmth or coolness that surrounds you right now, you might find yourself wondering how this changing thermal energy awakens responses in the living world around you. How do plants sense and respond to these gentle shifts in Earth's thermal breathing? As Earth's thermal breathing creates the gentle rhythm of seasonal warmth and coolness, something magical awakens in the plant world around you. Every tree, flower, grass blade, and tiny seedling carries within its cells an ancient wisdom that allows it to sense and respond to the changing seasons with perfect timing. Right now, wherever you are, plants near you are quietly measuring the length of each day and night. They possess an internal clock so precise that they can detect changes in daylight duration of just a few minutes, sensing Earth's gradual tilt toward or away from the sun with extraordinary accuracy. This ability is called photoperiodism, and it's one of nature's most beautiful examples of how life has learned to dance with Earth's seasonal rhythm. Plants don't simply respond to temperature or weather. They actually count the hours of light and darkness, using this information to know exactly where Earth is in its orbital journey around the sun. Imagine the leaves around you as tiny solar panels, not just collecting energy from sunlight, but also serving as sophisticated light meters that continuously monitor the changing angle and duration of the sun's rays. Each leaf contains special proteins that can distinguish between the red light of sunrise and sunset and the blue light of midday, creating a detailed picture of each day's light signature. As you rest in this moment, plants throughout your region are processing today's light information, comparing it to yesterday's measurements, and using this data to make decisions about when to bloom, when to shed leaves, when to go dormant, and when to burst forth with new growth. This process happens so quietly and gradually that you might never notice it, yet it orchestrates the entire seasonal transformation of the natural world. In spring, as Earth's tilt brings longer days to your location, plants sense the increasing hours of daylight and begin to awaken from winter's rest. The exact moment when day length reaches a critical threshold, different for each species, triggers a cascade of cellular changes that we experience as the miracle of spring awakening. Cherry trees know to bloom when days reach a specific length, regardless of whether the weather is warm or cool. Daffodils push through the soil when their internal light meters detect the precise photoperiod that signals winter's end. Maple trees begin to move sap upward through their trunks when daylight duration tells them that Earth has tilted far enough toward the sun to support new leaf growth. This photoperiodic wisdom extends far beyond simple flowering and leafing. Plants use day-length information to determine when to produce seeds, when to store energy in roots for winter survival, and when to begin the beautiful process of autumn color change that prepares them for the coming season of rest. But light duration is only part of the story. Plants also respond to what scientists call vernalization, the process by which they measure and remember the cold of winter. Many plants actually require a specific period of cold temperatures before they can bloom in spring, as if they need to experience winter's rest fully before they can embrace the energy of the growing season. This means that the tulips and crocuses that will bloom in your area next spring are right now, even as you rest, accumulating cold hours in their cellular memory. They're counting not just the shortening days of autumn and the lengthening days of late winter, but also the cumulative cold that tells them winter has been sufficient to support vigorous spring growth. Your body understands this plant wisdom more deeply than you might realize. You too have photoperiodic responses built into your cells. Your pineal gland, a tiny structure deep in your brain, responds to changing day length by adjusting your production of melatonin, the hormone that regulates your sleep cycles and seasonal mood changes. In winter, when days are short and nights are long, your pineal gland produces more melatonin, encouraging deeper sleep and the contemplative, restful mood that matches the season's energy. In summer, when days are long and nights are brief, melatonin production decreases, supporting the more active, energetic feeling that aligns with the season's abundant light. This means that right now, as you prepare for rest, your body is responding to the same photoperiodic signals that guide the plants around you. Your cellular rhythms are synchronized with the trees, flowers, and grasses that share your seasonal environment, all of you participating together in Earth's great seasonal symphony. Even your skin responds to seasonal light changes in ways that mirror plant behavior. In summer, increased sunlight exposure triggers your skin cells to produce more melanin, creating a natural tan that protects you from the season's intense rays. In winter, reduced light exposure signals your skin to produce less melanin, while increasing production of vitamin D from whatever sunlight is available. The foods you naturally crave also follow photoperiodic patterns similar to those of plants. In spring, you might find yourself drawn to fresh, light foods that match the energy of new growth. In summer, you may desire fresh fruits and vegetables that align with the season of abundance. In autumn, heartier foods appeal to you as your body, like the plants around you, begins to prepare for winter's contemplative season. As you breathe slowly and peacefully, consider how your sleep patterns naturally adjust to seasonal light changes. In winter, you might feel drawn to sleep longer, matching the extended nights that plants also use for rest and restoration. In summer, you may naturally wake earlier and sleep less, synchronized with the abbreviated nights that signal the season of growth and activity. This photoperiodic connection between your body and the plant world creates a beautiful harmony between your internal rhythms and the seasonal changes happening all around you. You are not separate from the natural world's response to Earth's changing position relative to the sun. You are an integral part of it. Tonight, as you rest, plants throughout your region are quietly processing today's light information, adjusting their internal clocks and preparing for tomorrow's continuation of the seasonal cycle. Some are measuring the accumulating cold of winter. Others are sensing the gradual return of longer days, and still others are timing their responses to the perfect photoperiodic moment for their next phase of growth or rest. Your body, too, is processing today's light exposure, adjusting your circadian rhythms, and preparing for sleep that aligns perfectly with the seasonal night length that surrounds you. There's something deeply peaceful about knowing that your rest is part of a vast, interconnected web of seasonal responses that includes every living thing in your environment. The trees outside your window, the grass beneath your feet, the flowers in nearby gardens, and even the tiny microorganisms in the soil are all participating in the same photoperiodic dance that guides your own seasonal rhythms. You are held within a community of life that shares the same seasonal wisdom, the same cellular ability to sense Earth's position in its orbital journey, and the same deep connection to the changing angles and duration of sunlight. As you settle deeper into the comfort of this moment, you might find yourself curious about how the animal kingdom also participates in this seasonal symphony. How do the birds, mammals, insects, and other creatures around you sense and respond to the same photoperiodic signals that guide both plants and your own body through the eternal rhythm of seasons? As plants around you quietly measure daylight and respond to Earth's seasonal signals, the animal kingdom participates in an equally magnificent symphony of seasonal awareness. Every creature, from the tiniest insect to the largest mammal, carries within its cells the same ancient wisdom that allows it to sense Earth's position in its orbital dance and respond with perfect timing. Right now, in this very moment, animals throughout your region are making seasonal decisions based on the same photoperiodic information that guides plant behavior. Birds are sensing the changing day length and adjusting their migration schedules accordingly. Mammals are responding to seasonal light cues by growing thicker winter coats or shedding their heavy fur for summer comfort. Even insects are timing their life cycles to match the seasonal rhythms that govern their survival and reproduction. This animal awareness of seasons operates through what scientists call circannual rhythms, internal biological clocks that run on roughly yearly cycles. These rhythms are so precise that animals can anticipate seasonal changes weeks or even months before they occur, preparing their bodies and behaviors for conditions they haven't yet experienced but somehow know are coming. Consider the remarkable journey of migratory birds that may pass through your area during their seasonal travels. These creatures possess an internal compass so sophisticated that they can navigate thousands of miles using Earth's magnetic field, the position of stars, and their innate sense of seasonal timing. A tiny warbler weighing less than half an ounce can fly from your region to Central America and back again, timing its journey to coincide perfectly with the seasonal availability of food and suitable nesting conditions. Arctic terns, the most extraordinary migrants of all, travel roughly 44,000 miles each year, following Earth's seasonal rhythms from Arctic summer to Antarctic summer and back again. These birds experience more daylight than any other creature on Earth, chasing the seasons in an endless pursuit of summer's long days and abundant food sources. But migration is only one of the many ways animals respond to seasonal change. Many creatures in your area demonstrate the equally remarkable adaptation of hibernation, a process that allows them to survive winter's challenges by entering a state of dramatically reduced metabolism and activity. Bears, ground squirrels, bats, and many other mammals possess the ability to slow their heart rates, lower their body temperatures, and reduce their breathing to barely detectable levels. This isn't simply sleeping through winter, it's a profound physiological transformation that allows these animals to survive for months without eating, drinking, or even eliminating waste. The timing of hibernation depends on the same photoperiodic cues that guide plant behavior. As days grow shorter in autumn, hibernating animals sense the approaching season of scarcity and begin the remarkable process of preparing their bodies for months of dormancy. They accumulate fat reserves, find secure den sites, and gradually slow their metabolism until they enter the deep rest that will carry them through winter's challenges. Even animals that don't hibernate show remarkable seasonal adaptations. Deer grow thick winter coats that provide insulation against cold temperatures, then shed this heavy fur as spring's warmth returns. Rabbits and other small mammals change the color of their fur seasonally, growing white coats for winter camouflage and brown coats for summer concealment. Your own body demonstrates many of these same seasonal adaptations, though in more subtle ways than other mammals. Your hair grows slightly faster in summer and slower in winter, following the same seasonal rhythm that governs fur growth in wild animals. Your metabolism adjusts seasonally, naturally increasing in winter to help generate body heat and decreasing in summer to prevent overheating. Your immune system also follows seasonal patterns, becoming more active in autumn as your body prepares for winter's challenges and adjusting its responses based on the seasonal diseases and allergens that are most common during different times of year. Even your mood and energy levels follow circannual rhythms similar to those that guide animal behavior. In winter, you might naturally feel more contemplative and inclined toward rest, matching the seasonal energy of hibernating animals. In summer, you may experience increased energy and social activity, aligning with the seasonal behaviors of animals during their most active period. The hormone melatonin, produced by your pineal gland in response to seasonal light changes, creates many of these seasonal mood and energy shifts. This same hormone influences seasonal behavior in countless animal species, from the timing of reproduction in deer to the onset of hibernation in ground squirrels. Seasonal reproduction is another remarkable example of how animals synchronize their life cycles with Earth's orbital rhythm. Most animals time their breeding so that their young are born during the season when food is most abundant and weather conditions are most favorable for survival. This means that animals throughout your region are constantly monitoring seasonal cues to determine the optimal timing for mating, pregnancy, and birth. Deer, rabbits, birds, and countless other species use photoperiodic information to ensure that their offspring arrive precisely when seasonal conditions will best support their growth and development. Even domestic animals retain much of this seasonal wisdom. Cats and dogs may show seasonal changes in appetite, activity levels, and sleep patterns. Horses grow thick winter coats and shed them in spring, following the same photoperiodic cues that guide their wild relatives. The insects around you demonstrate perhaps the most dramatic seasonal adaptations of all. Many species time their entire life cycles to match seasonal rhythms, emerging from eggs or pupae precisely when seasonal conditions are optimal for their survival. Butterflies, moths, beetles, and countless other insects use photoperiodic cues to coordinate their development with the seasonal availability of food plants and suitable weather conditions. Some insects, like monarch butterflies, undertake migrations that rival those of birds in their complexity and precision. Monarchs that emerge in your area during late summer possess genetic programming that guides them on a journey of thousands of miles to overwintering sites they have never seen, following routes established by countless generations of their ancestors. As you rest tonight, animals throughout your region are responding to the same seasonal signals that influence your own circadian rhythms and seasonal mood changes. Nocturnal creatures are beginning their nightly activities, guided by internal clocks that synchronize their behavior with seasonal patterns of darkness and light. Owls, bats, raccoons, and countless other night-active animals are starting their evening routines, their behavior timed to match the seasonal length of night and the availability of prey species that also follow circannual rhythms. Even the insects that provide food for these nocturnal hunters emerge and become active according to seasonal schedules that have been refined over millions of years of evolution. There's something deeply comforting about knowing that your own seasonal rhythms connect you to this vast community of life that shares your environment. The same photoperiodic signals that influence your sleep patterns and seasonal mood changes also guide the migration of birds overhead, the hibernation of mammals in nearby forests, and the seasonal activities of countless creatures that participate in Earth's great seasonal symphony. Your body's seasonal responses aren't separate from nature. They're part of the same ancient wisdom that allows all life on Earth to dance in harmony with the planet's orbital rhythm. As you breathe slowly and peacefully, you're participating in the same seasonal awareness that guides every living thing around you through the eternal cycle of Earth's journey around the sun. And as you settle deeper into the seasonal rhythm that holds you right now, you might find yourself curious about how these same seasonal signals influence your own body's responses in ways you may never have considered. How does your human physiology participate in the seasonal symphony that guides all life on Earth? As you rest in the understanding of how animals respond to Earth's seasonal rhythms, it's time to discover something truly remarkable. Your own human body carries within it the same ancient seasonal wisdom that guides migrating birds, hibernating mammals, and blooming flowers. You are not separate from nature's seasonal symphony. You are an integral part of it, responding to Earth's orbital dance in ways both subtle and profound. Right now, as you breathe peacefully, your body is processing seasonal information with the same precision that allows plants to time their blooming and animals to navigate their migrations. Your cells are measuring the duration of today's daylight, comparing it to yesterday's light exposure, and adjusting countless physiological processes to match the seasonal needs of this moment in Earth's yearly journey. Your eyes serve as sophisticated light meters containing specialized cells called intrinsically photosensitive retinal ganglion cells that detect not just the brightness of light but also its color, temperature, and duration. These cells send information directly to your brain's master clock, a tiny structure called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, which orchestrates your body's seasonal responses with remarkable precision. This master clock influences virtually every system in your body, from your sleep patterns and hormone production to your immune responses and metabolism. It's constantly adjusting your internal rhythms to match the seasonal light patterns that result from Earth's changing position relative to the sun. In winter, when days are short and sunlight arrives at shallow angles, your brain responds by increasing production of melatonin, the hormone that promotes sleep and creates the contemplative, restful mood that matches the season's energy. Your body naturally wants to sleep longer during winter nights, not just because of cultural habits, but because your cells are responding to the same photoperiodic signals that trigger hibernation in other mammals. Your skin also demonstrates remarkable seasonal wisdom. In summer, increased sunlight exposure triggers your melanocytes to produce more melanin, creating a natural tan that protects you from the season's intense ultraviolet radiation. This tanning response is precisely timed to match the seasonal increase in solar radiation that results from Earth's tilt toward the sun. In winter, when sunlight is gentler and less direct, your skin reduces melanin production while becoming more efficient at synthesizing vitamin D from whatever sunlight is available. This seasonal adjustment helps your body maintain adequate vitamin D levels even when winter's shallow sun angle provides less of the specific wavelengths needed for vitamin D synthesis. Your immune system follows equally sophisticated seasonal patterns. In autumn, as daylight hours decrease and your body senses the approach of winter, your immune responses naturally intensify in preparation for the season when respiratory infections are most common. This seasonal immune enhancement isn't triggered by cold weather itself, but by the photoperiodic signals that tell your body winter is approaching. Your metabolism also adjusts seasonally in ways that mirror the seasonal changes seen in other mammals. In winter, your body naturally increases its metabolic rate slightly to generate more internal heat, while also increasing your appetite for foods that provide sustained energy. In summer, your metabolism adjusts to prevent overheating, and you naturally crave lighter, more cooling foods. These seasonal metabolic changes explain why you might find yourself naturally wanting heartier, warming foods in winter and lighter, fresher foods in summer. Your body is responding to the same seasonal energy needs that guide dietary changes in wild animals, adjusting your nutritional requirements to match the thermal demands of each season. Your cardiovascular system demonstrates seasonal adaptations that help you maintain optimal circulation, regardless of seasonal temperature changes. In winter, your blood vessels naturally constrict slightly to conserve heat, while your heart rate may increase subtly to maintain adequate circulation. In summer, your blood vessels dilate to help release excess heat, and your heart rate adjusts to support efficient cooling. Even your sleep architecture changes seasonally. In winter, you naturally spend more time in deep, restorative sleep stages, matching the season's emphasis on rest and conservation. In summer, you may experience more REM sleep, the stage associated with dreaming and memory consolidation, supporting the increased learning and activity that characterize the growing season. Your mood and emotional responses also follow circadian rhythms that connect you to the seasonal patterns observed throughout the natural world. The condition known as seasonal affective disorder represents an extreme version of the natural seasonal mood changes that most people experience to some degree. In winter, reduced sunlight exposure can lead to decreased production of serotonin, a neurotransmitter that influences mood and energy levels. This creates the natural tendency toward more contemplative, introspective states that match winter's energy. In summer, increased light exposure boosts serotonin production, supporting the more active, social mood that aligns with the season's abundant energy. Your cognitive function even shows seasonal variations. Research has shown that people tend to perform better on certain types of mental tasks during specific seasons, with attention and reaction time showing measurable seasonal fluctuations that correspond to changes in daylight duration and seasonal light exposure. Your body temperature follows a subtle but measurable seasonal rhythm, with your core temperature naturally running slightly higher in summer and lower in winter. This seasonal temperature adjustment helps optimize your body's efficiency for the thermal conditions of each season. Your hormone production demonstrates perhaps the most sophisticated seasonal responses of all. Beyond melatonin, your body seasonally adjusts production of cortisol, thyroid hormones, reproductive hormones, and growth hormone, creating a complex seasonal symphony of chemical signals that coordinate your physiology with Earth's orbital rhythm. Women's menstrual cycles can show seasonal variations in length and intensity, with some research suggesting that conception rates naturally fluctuate seasonally in response to the same photoperiodic cues that govern reproduction in other mammals. Men's testosterone levels also show seasonal fluctuations, typically peaking in autumn and reaching their lowest levels in spring. Your appetite and food preferences demonstrate seasonal patterns that reflect your body's changing nutritional needs throughout the year. In autumn, you might naturally crave foods high in healthy fats and complex carbohydrates as your body prepares for winter's increased energy demands. In spring, you may find yourself drawn to fresh, cleansing foods that support the season's natural detoxification processes. Even your physical strength and endurance show seasonal variations. Many people naturally feel stronger and more energetic during summer months, when increased daylight supports optimal hormone production and metabolic function. In winter, you might notice that you prefer gentler, more restorative forms of exercise that match the season's emphasis on conservation and rest. Your skin's sensitivity to touch and temperature changes seasonally. You're becoming more sensitive to warmth in winter and more tolerant of heat in summer. This seasonal adjustment helps your body respond appropriately to the thermal conditions of each season. As you rest tonight, your body is quietly adjusting countless physiological processes to match the seasonal requirements of this moment in Earth's yearly cycle. Your pineal gland is producing the precise amount of melatonin needed for this season's sleep patterns. Your immune system is calibrating its responses to match seasonal health challenges. Your metabolism is adjusting to support your body's seasonal energy needs. There's something deeply peaceful about recognizing that your body possesses the same seasonal wisdom that guides all life on Earth. You don't need to consciously manage these seasonal adjustments. They happen automatically as your cells respond to the same photoperiodic and thermal cues that orchestrate the seasonal behavior of every living thing around you. Your seasonal responses connect you intimately to the natural world, making you part of the vast community of life that shares Earth's orbital journey around the sun. As you breathe slowly and peacefully, you're participating in the same seasonal awareness that guides migrating birds, blooming flowers, and hibernating mammals through the eternal rhythm of seasonal change. And as you settle deeper into appreciation for your body's seasonal wisdom, you might find yourself curious about how these individual seasonal responses combine to create the magnificent global pattern of seasonal change that encompasses our entire planet. How do the seasonal experiences happening right where you are connect to the broader seasonal symphony that spans Earth's entire surface? As you rest in the awareness of your body's seasonal wisdom, let your imagination expand to embrace one of Earth's most beautiful secrets. While you experience the particular season that surrounds you right now, the opposite season is unfolding simultaneously on the other side of our planet, creating a perfect global balance that demonstrates Earth's magnificent seasonal breathing. Right now, in this very moment, if winter's gentle coolness surrounds you, summer's warmth is embracing people on the opposite side of Earth. If you're experiencing summer's abundant energy, winter's contemplative peace is settling over the southern hemisphere. This isn't coincidence. It's the elegant result of Earth's axial tilt, creating a global conversation between opposite seasons. Imagine Earth as a vast, living organism that breathes seasonally through both hemispheres simultaneously. When the northern hemisphere tilts toward the sun and inhales summer's energy, the southern hemisphere tilts away and exhales into winter's rest. When the southern hemisphere leans toward the sun's warming rays, the northern hemisphere tilts away into its own season of peaceful reflection. This global seasonal breathing creates a perfect planetary balance. Earth never experiences all summer or winter at once. Instead, the planet maintains a constant equilibrium between the active energy of summer and the restorative peace of winter, with both seasons always present somewhere on Earth's surface. As you breathe slowly and peacefully, consider how your breath right now participates in this global seasonal conversation. If you're in winter, the carbon dioxide you exhale is being absorbed by summer's abundant plant growth on the opposite side of Earth. If you're in summer, the oxygen you breathe may have been produced by the photosynthesis happening in forests and grasslands that are experiencing their peak growing season. This creates a beautiful planetary respiratory system where Earth's seasonal breathing is supported by the complementary seasonal activities of both hemispheres. Summer's plant growth in one hemisphere helps balance winter's reduced photosynthesis in the other, maintaining the atmospheric composition that supports all life on Earth. The global ocean currents participate in this hemispheric seasonal conversation by carrying warm water from summer regions toward winter areas and returning cooler water in the opposite direction. These currents create a planetary circulatory system that helps moderate seasonal temperature extremes and distribute Earth's thermal energy more evenly across the globe. Weather patterns also demonstrate this global seasonal interaction. The jet streams that influence weather in your region are affected by the temperature differences between summer and winter hemispheres. Storm systems that develop in one hemisphere's seasonal conditions can influence weather patterns thousands of miles away in the opposite hemisphere's season. Migrating animals create living bridges between opposite seasons, carrying energy and nutrients from summer regions to winter areas and back again. Birds that spend summer in your hemisphere may overwinter in the opposite hemisphere's summer, participating in both seasonal experiences during their yearly cycle and connecting the biological productivity of both seasons. Even the length of days and nights demonstrates this global seasonal balance. When your hemisphere experiences its longest day at the summer solstice, the opposite hemisphere simultaneously experiences its shortest day at the winter solstice. When you experience equal day and night at the equinoxes, people on the opposite side of Earth experience the same balanced light, though they're entering the opposite season. This global seasonal symmetry creates a planet where seasonal change is always occurring somewhere, but never overwhelming the entire system. Earth maintains its stability through this constant dance between opposite seasons, with each hemisphere's seasonal experience balancing and complementing the others. Your sleep right now participates in this global seasonal rhythm. If you're preparing for winter's longer night, people in the opposite hemisphere are experiencing summer's brief nights and may be naturally sleeping less. If you're resting during summer's short night, others are settling into winter's extended darkness and may be sleeping more deeply. The foods growing in your seasonal conditions right now are complemented by different crops flourishing in the opposite season elsewhere on Earth. Summer's fresh fruits and vegetables in one hemisphere balance, winter's stored grains and preserved foods in the other, creating a global food system that provides seasonal variety and nutritional balance throughout the year. Cultural celebrations also reflect this global seasonal conversation. When one hemisphere celebrates summer solstice festivals marking the peak of light and warmth, the other hemisphere observes winter solstice traditions honoring the return of light from the deepest darkness. These complementary celebrations acknowledge the global nature of Earth's seasonal breathing. The planet's ice caps demonstrate this seasonal balance dramatically. When Arctic ice reaches its minimum extent during northern summer, Antarctic ice is at its maximum during southern winter. When Antarctic ice melts during southern summer, Arctic ice is forming during northern winter. This creates a global ice balance that helps regulate Earth's temperature and ocean levels. Even Earth's rotation is subtly affected by this seasonal mass redistribution. As water moves between ice caps and oceans seasonally, and as the atmosphere's mass distribution changes with seasonal weather patterns, Earth's rotation speed varies slightly, creating tiny seasonal changes in the length of days that reflect the global nature of seasonal change. Plant and animal life demonstrates this global seasonal connectivity through species that depend on resources from both hemispheres. Some marine animals follow seasonal food sources that depend on the complementary seasonal productivity of both northern and southern oceans. Certain plants produce seeds that are dispersed by animals migrating between opposite seasons. The global carbon cycle shows perhaps the most elegant example of this hemispheric seasonal conversation. During northern summer, the vast forests and grasslands of North America, Europe, and Asia absorb enormous amounts of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. During northern winter, when these plants are dormant, the southern hemisphere's summer vegetation takes over this carbon absorption role. This creates a global seasonal breathing pattern where Earth's atmosphere shows measurable seasonal fluctuations in carbon dioxide levels, with a gas decreasing during each hemisphere's growing season and increasing during each hemisphere's dormant season. Your own breathing participates in this planetary respiratory rhythm. As you rest tonight, Earth continues its global seasonal conversation. Ocean currents are carrying thermal energy between opposite seasons. Atmospheric patterns are balancing the weather between summer and winter hemispheres, and countless species are participating in the biological connections that link opposite seasonal experiences. The stars above you shine down on both your seasonal experience and the opposite season occurring simultaneously on the other side of Earth. The same moonlight that illuminates your night also lights the day of people experiencing the opposite season, creating a celestial connection between Earth's complementary seasonal experiences. There's something profoundly peaceful about knowing that your seasonal experience right now is part of a perfectly balanced global system. You're not experiencing an isolated seasonal moment, but participating in Earth's magnificent global seasonal breathing that maintains planetary harmony through the elegant dance of opposite seasons. Your rest tonight contributes to this global seasonal balance. As you sleep during your hemisphere's night, people in the opposite hemisphere are experiencing their seasonal day, and their activity balances your rest in the global rhythm of seasonal life. And as you settle deeper into appreciation for this global seasonal harmony, you might find yourself curious about how these seasonal patterns connect to even larger cycles of change. How do the yearly seasons you experience fit into the vast cycles of climate and time that govern Earth's long-term seasonal evolution? As you rest in the beautiful understanding of Earth's global seasonal harmony, let your awareness expand to embrace an even more magnificent truth. The yearly seasons you experience are themselves nested within much larger cycles of seasonal change that unfold over thousands, millions, and even billions of years, creating a vast symphony of interconnected rhythms that governs all climate and life on Earth. Right now, as you breathe peacefully in this moment's seasonal embrace, you are participating not just in this year's seasonal cycle, but in cycles within cycles that stretch back to the very beginning of Earth's history and forward into the distant future. These nested rhythms create a complex tapestry of seasonal change that operates on scales from the daily rotation of Earth to the cosmic cycles that govern ice ages and climate evolution. Within each day, you experience a miniature version of the yearly seasonal cycle. Morning resembles spring, with its awakening energy and growing light. Midday mirrors summer with its peak warmth and maximum solar energy. Evening echoes autumn with its golden light and gradual cooling. Night reflects winter with its darkness, coolness, and invitation to rest. Your body responds to these daily seasonal changes with the same wisdom it uses to navigate yearly seasons. Your cortisol levels rise in the morning like sap rising in spring trees. Your energy peaks at midday like summer's abundant growth. Your body temperature begins to drop in evening like autumn's cooling. Your melatonin production increases at night like winter's call to hibernation. These daily seasonal cycles are synchronized with yearly patterns through the changing length of days and nights throughout the year. In summer, the daily cycle expands with longer days and shorter nights. In winter, it contracts with shorter days and longer nights. This creates a beautiful interaction between daily and yearly seasonal rhythms that your body navigates with unconscious precision. But yearly seasons themselves are part of much longer cycles that operate on scales almost too vast to comprehend. Earth's orbit around the Sun changes shape over periods of about 100,000 years, sometimes becoming more circular and sometimes more elliptical. These orbital changes create subtle but significant alterations in the seasonal patterns that have governed Earth's climate throughout geological history. Earth's axial tilt, which creates the seasons you experience, also changes gradually over periods of about 41,000 years. Sometimes Earth tilts more dramatically, creating more extreme seasonal differences between summer and winter. Sometimes the tilt becomes more moderate, creating gentler seasonal transitions. Your current seasonal experience exists within this slowly changing cosmic rhythm. The direction of Earth's tilt also shifts over time in a cycle lasting about 26,000 years. This means that the North Star, which currently marks the direction of Earth's northern tilt, will gradually change over thousands of years. The seasonal timing of Earth's closest approach to the Sun also shifts, creating complex interactions between orbital cycles that influence long-term climate patterns. These cosmic cycles, discovered by scientist Milutin Milankovitch, explain the ice ages that have periodically transformed Earth's seasonal patterns throughout geological history. During ice ages, winter's influence expands dramatically, with massive ice sheets covering regions that normally experience temperate seasonal cycles. During warm periods between ice ages, summer's energy extends further toward the poles, creating gentler seasonal transitions across much of Earth's surface. You are living during one of these warm interglacial periods, experiencing seasonal patterns that are relatively gentle compared to the extreme seasonal contrasts that characterize Ice Age climates. The seasonal changes you know and love exist within this particular phase of Earth's long-term climate cycles. Even longer cycles operate on scales of millions and hundreds of millions of years. The slow drift of continents across Earth's surface has dramatically altered seasonal patterns throughout geological history. When all continents were joined in the supercontinent Pangaea, seasonal patterns were very different from those you experience today. The breakup and movement of continents has gradually created the current global arrangement that supports the seasonal diversity you observe. The Sun itself changes over even longer periods, gradually becoming brighter and hotter over billions of years. This means that Earth's seasonal patterns billions of years ago were quite different from today's seasons, and they will continue to evolve as the Sun ages. The seasonal cycles you experience represent just one moment in this vast cosmic evolution. Mountain building and erosion operate on cycles of millions of years, gradually altering the landscape in ways that influence regional seasonal patterns. The rise of mountain ranges creates new seasonal climates by blocking air masses and creating rain shadows. The erosion of mountains gradually changes seasonal weather patterns as landscapes flatten and atmospheric circulation patterns shift. Ocean circulation patterns also change over long periods, creating cycles of climate change that alter seasonal patterns across entire continents. The opening and closing of ocean passages between continents can dramatically reorganize global seasonal weather patterns, creating new seasonal climates and eliminating others. Volcanic activity operates on irregular cycles that can temporarily alter seasonal patterns across the entire planet. Major volcanic eruptions can reduce global temperatures for several years, creating temporary changes in seasonal intensity and timing. The largest volcanic events in Earth's history have created dramatic alterations in seasonal patterns that lasted for thousands of years. Even the evolution of life itself has influenced Earth's seasonal cycles. The development of photosynthesis gradually altered Earth's atmosphere, changing seasonal weather patterns and creating new seasonal environments. The evolution of forests modified regional seasonal climates by altering patterns of water, evaporation, and temperature regulation. Your own species has become a force in Earth's seasonal cycles, with human activities now influencing seasonal patterns on a global scale. The seasonal changes you experience today are subtly different from those your ancestors knew, as human influence on climate creates new variations in the ancient seasonal rhythms. As you rest tonight, you are held within all of these nested cycles simultaneously. Your breathing participates in the daily seasonal rhythm that mirrors the yearly cycle. Your yearly seasonal experience unfolds within the slowly changing cosmic cycles that govern ice ages. These cosmic cycles operate within the even longer cycles of continental drift and solar evolution. There's something profoundly peaceful about recognizing your place within these vast temporal rhythms. You are not experiencing an isolated moment of seasonal change, but participating in cycles within cycles that connect you to the deepest patterns of cosmic time. Your seasonal experience right now is part of an unbroken chain of seasonal change that stretches back to Earth's beginning and forward to its distant future. The seasonal peace you feel tonight has been felt by countless generations of humans who lived within different phases of these same cosmic cycles. The seasonal wisdom in your cells carries the memory of all these nested rhythms, connecting you to the vast temporal symphony that governs all change on Earth. And as you settle deeper into appreciation for these cosmic seasonal cycles, you might find yourself curious about how these vast patterns of change have been recorded and remembered throughout Earth's history. How do we know about these ancient seasonal cycles? And what stories do they tell about the deep history of seasonal change on our planet? As you rest within the vast nested cycles of seasonal change, something remarkable surrounds you. The trees, rocks, ice, and even the very air around you hold within them a detailed record of every seasonal cycle that has ever occurred on Earth, creating a planetary library of seasonal memory that stretches back through billions of years of climate history. Right now, if there are trees near where you rest, their trunks contain a precise record of every seasonal cycle they have experienced. Each year of their lives is marked by a ring of growth that records not just the passage of time, but the specific seasonal conditions of that year. Wide rings mark years when spring arrived early and summer was abundant. Narrow rings record years when winter lingered and growing seasons were short. These tree rings create a seasonal autobiography written in wood, with each ring capturing the temperature, rainfall, and growing conditions of its particular year. Scientists can read these wooden chronicles like books, reconstructing seasonal patterns from centuries and even millennia in the past. Some trees alive today began growing before the pyramids were built, and their rings hold the seasonal memory of civilizations that have risen and fallen. But trees are just one of many ways Earth records its seasonal history. Deep beneath polar ice sheets, layers of ice hold an even more detailed seasonal record. Each year's snowfall creates a distinct layer in the ice, and these layers contain tiny bubbles of ancient atmosphere that preserve the exact composition of air from seasonal cycles thousands of years ago. Scientists can extract ice cores from these frozen archives and read the seasonal story they contain. Each layer reveals the temperature, precipitation, and atmospheric conditions of its particular season. Volcanic eruptions appear as dark layers in the ice. Periods of unusual warmth or cold create distinctive chemical signatures. Even the seasonal patterns of ancient storms are preserved in the crystalline structure of ice formed during different seasons. These ice core records extend back nearly 1 million years, creating a detailed chronicle of how seasonal patterns have changed throughout the ice age cycles that have shaped Earth's recent climate history. The seasonal cycles you experience today can be compared directly to seasonal patterns from any period within this vast frozen library. Lake sediments provide another form of seasonal memory. Each year, lakes collect sediments that reflect the seasonal conditions of their watersheds. Spring floods bring different materials than autumn storms. Summer algae blooms create distinct layers different from winter's sparse biological activity. These annual sediment layers, called varves, create striped patterns in lake bottoms that record seasonal changes over thousands of years. Ocean sediments hold an even longer record of seasonal change. The shells of tiny marine organisms that lived in ancient seas preserve the seasonal temperature and chemistry of ocean waters from millions of years ago. These microscopic fossils accumulate in layers on the ocean floor, creating a detailed record of how seasonal patterns have evolved throughout Earth's geological history. Even rocks hold seasonal memories. Some sedimentary rocks preserve ancient seasonal patterns in their layered structure. Desert sandstones show the seasonal patterns of ancient wind directions. Limestone formations record the seasonal growth patterns of ancient coral reefs. Coal deposits preserve the seasonal growth cycles of ancient forests that lived hundreds of millions of years ago. Fossil pollen grains provide another window into ancient seasonal patterns. Each type of plant produces distinctive pollen during specific seasons, and this pollen is preserved in sediments and ice cores. By studying ancient pollen, scientists can reconstruct the seasonal timing of plant growth from thousands of years ago, revealing how seasonal patterns have shifted over time. Your own cultural history is intertwined with this natural record of seasonal change. Archaeological sites contain evidence of how human societies have adapted to changing seasonal patterns throughout history. Ancient agricultural terraces show how farmers adjusted their seasonal planting cycles to changing climate conditions. Historical documents record unusual seasonal events like early springs or late frost that affected harvests and human activities. Cave formations called speleothems grow in seasonal patterns that create their own record of climate history. Stalactites and stalagmites form layers that reflect seasonal changes in temperature and rainfall. These cave records can extend back hundreds of thousands of years, providing detailed information about seasonal patterns during periods not covered by ice cores or tree rings. Even the atmosphere itself holds seasonal memories. The chemical composition of air changes subtly with seasonal patterns. These changes are preserved in ice cores and can be measured in modern atmospheric monitoring. The seasonal breathing of Earth's vegetation creates annual cycles in atmospheric carbon dioxide that have been recorded continuously for decades. Coral reefs grow in seasonal patterns that create annual bands in their calcium carbonate skeletons. These coral records reveal seasonal sea surface temperatures and ocean chemistry from tropical regions where ice cores are not available. Some coral colonies have been growing for centuries, creating detailed records of seasonal ocean conditions throughout their lifespans. The seasonal migration patterns of animals are also preserved in various natural archives. Bird migration routes can be reconstructed from fossil evidence and historical records. Fish scales in lake sediments reveal seasonal patterns of fish populations. Even the seasonal movements of ancient humans are recorded in archaeological sites and genetic studies. Modern technology allows scientists to combine all these different types of seasonal records into comprehensive reconstructions of past climate. Satellite measurements now provide global monitoring of seasonal changes in vegetation, ice cover, and atmospheric conditions. Weather station records extend back several centuries in some locations, providing detailed information about recent seasonal trends. This vast archive of seasonal memory reveals that the seasonal patterns you experience today are both ancient and constantly changing. The basic rhythm of Earth's seasonal breathing has continued for billions of years, but the specific characteristics of each season have evolved continuously in response to changing cosmic cycles, continental positions, and atmospheric composition. The seasonal changes happening right now will become part of this permanent record. The trees growing near you are adding this year's seasonal conditions to their ring patterns. Ice falling as snow in polar regions will preserve the atmospheric composition of this season. Lake sediments are recording the seasonal conditions of this year's weather patterns. Your own seasonal experience tonight is part of this continuing story of seasonal change on Earth. The seasonal wisdom in your body connects you not just to current seasonal patterns, but to the deep history of seasonal adaptation that has shaped all life on our planet. As you breathe slowly and peacefully, you are participating in the same seasonal rhythms that have been recorded in tree rings, ice cores, and sediment layers throughout Earth's history. Your seasonal responses represent the continuation of patterns that stretch back through geological time and forward into the future. There's something deeply comforting about knowing that your seasonal experience is part of this vast, continuous record of Earth's seasonal memory. You are not just experiencing this moment's seasonal conditions, but participating in the ongoing story of seasonal change that connects you to all of Earth's climate history. And as you settle deeper into appreciation for this planetary seasonal memory, you might find yourself curious about how understanding these deep seasonal patterns can enrich your own relationship with the seasonal cycles that surround you each day. How can awareness of Earth's seasonal wisdom enhance your personal experience of the eternal rhythm of seasonal change? As you rest within the vast library of Earth's seasonal memory, let your awareness gently return to the intimate scale of your own daily life, bringing with you the profound understanding that you are not separate from these ancient seasonal rhythms, but are their living expression. Your body, your emotions, your natural preferences and responses are all part of the same seasonal wisdom that has guided life on Earth for billions of years. Right now, as you breathe peacefully, you can begin to recognize how your own seasonal nature expresses itself in countless ways throughout your daily experience. The foods you crave, the activities that appeal to you, the sleep patterns that feel most natural, even the colors and textures that bring you comfort, all follow the same seasonal rhythms that govern the natural world around you. In winter, you might find yourself naturally drawn to warm, nourishing foods that provide sustained energy and comfort. Root vegetables, hearty grains, warming spices, and rich broths appeal to your body's seasonal wisdom, providing the nutrients and thermal energy needed to thrive during the season when Earth tilts away from the sun's direct rays. Your body knows instinctively that winter is a time for building internal warmth and conserving energy for the renewal that spring will bring. Your winter sleep patterns also reflect this seasonal wisdom. You may naturally want to sleep longer during winter's extended nights, not from laziness, but from the same biological intelligence that guides hibernating animals into their seasonal rest. Your body produces more melatonin during winter's long darkness, encouraging the deeper, more restorative sleep that supports the season's emphasis on renewal and restoration. Winter activities that appeal to you likely support this seasonal energy of introspection and conservation. Reading by a warm fire, engaging in contemplative practices, working on indoor creative projects, or simply enjoying quiet conversations with loved ones all align with winter's natural rhythm of turning inward and focusing on the essential foundations of life. As Earth's tilt gradually brings longer days and the promise of spring, your seasonal nature begins to shift in harmony with the changing light. You might notice yourself naturally craving lighter, fresher foods that support the season's energy of renewal and growth. Fresh greens, sprouting seeds, and the first tender vegetables of the season appeal to your body's wisdom about spring's cleansing and energizing qualities. Your sleep patterns naturally adjust to spring's lengthening days, with your body producing less melatonin as daylight hours increase. You may find yourself waking earlier and feeling more energetic, matching the season's invitation to emerge from winter's contemplative rest and engage more actively with the world around you. Spring activities that attract you support this seasonal energy of renewal and growth. Gardening, cleaning and organizing your living space, beginning new projects, or spending more time outdoors all align with spring's natural rhythm of awakening and expansion. Your body and mind naturally seek activities that match the season's emphasis on fresh starts and new possibilities. Summer's peak energy calls forth different aspects of your seasonal nature. You may crave cooling foods that help your body manage the season's abundant thermal energy. Fresh fruits, crisp vegetables, cooling herbs, and lighter meals appeal to your seasonal wisdom about maintaining balance during the time when Earth receives the sun's most direct rays. Your summer sleep patterns reflect the season's brief nights and abundant energy. You may naturally sleep less and feel energized by longer days, matching the seasonal rhythm that supports maximum activity and growth. Your body produces minimal melatonin during summer's bright nights, encouraging the active engagement that characterizes the season of abundance. Summer activities that appeal to you support this seasonal energy of expansion and celebration. Outdoor adventures, social gatherings, physical activities, and creative expression all align with summer's natural rhythm of maximum engagement with life's possibilities. Your seasonal nature seeks experiences that match the season's emphasis on joy, growth, and the full expression of life's potential. Autumn brings its own seasonal wisdom to your daily experience. You may find yourself craving foods that help your body prepare for winter's contemplative season. Warming spices, preserved foods, nuts and seeds, and heartier meals appeal to your seasonal intelligence about building reserves and preparing for the coming time of rest and reflection. Your autumn sleep patterns begin to shift as nights grow longer and your body starts producing more melatonin. You may naturally begin sleeping longer and feeling drawn to quieter, more reflective activities, matching the season's rhythm of gradual transition from summer's expansion to winter's introspection. Autumn activities that attract you support this seasonal energy of harvest and preparation. Organizing and preserving, reflecting on the year's experiences, engaging in artistic pursuits, or simply enjoying the contemplative beauty of the season, all align with autumn's natural rhythm of gathering wisdom and preparing for renewal. Your emotional responses also follow these seasonal patterns in ways that reflect the same wisdom observed throughout the natural world. Winter's contemplative mood, spring's optimistic energy, summer's joyful expansion, and autumn's reflective gratitude all represent natural emotional responses to the seasonal changes in light, temperature, and atmospheric energy that surround you. Even your social preferences show seasonal patterns. You may naturally seek more intimate, cozy gatherings during winter's inward-turning energy, while feeling drawn to larger, more active social experiences during summer's expansive season. Spring might inspire you to reconnect with friends and begin new relationships, while autumn may call you to deepen existing connections and reflect on the relationships that truly nourish your life. Your creative expression often follows seasonal rhythms as well. Winter's quiet energy may inspire introspective arts like writing, music, or contemplative crafts. Spring's renewal energy might draw you to activities involving growth and new beginnings. Summer's abundance may inspire bold, expressive creative projects, while autumn's reflective mood might encourage artistic works that integrate and synthesize your experiences. Your physical activity preferences naturally align with seasonal energy patterns. Winter may call you to gentler, more restorative forms of movement that conserve energy and build internal strength. Spring might inspire you to gradually increase activity levels as your energy awakens with the lengthening days. Summer may draw you to more vigorous, outdoor activities that match the season's peak energy, while autumn might encourage activities that help you process and integrate the year's experiences. Your home environment preferences also reflect seasonal wisdom. In winter, you may naturally create warmer, cozier spaces that support the season's inward focus. Spring might inspire you to open windows, add fresh elements, and create spaces that support renewal and growth. Summer may call you to create cooling, airy environments that provide relief from the season's thermal energy, while autumn might draw you to create spaces that feel grounding and reflective. Understanding your seasonal nature allows you to work with these natural rhythms rather than against them. Instead of fighting your body's desire for more sleep in winter, you can honor this seasonal wisdom and allow yourself the rest that supports optimal health. Instead of forcing yourself to maintain the same activity level year-round, you can adjust your expectations and activities to match your natural seasonal energy patterns. This seasonal self-awareness also helps you understand that your changing preferences and energy levels throughout the year are not personal failings but natural expressions of your deep connection to Earth's seasonal rhythms. Your winter desire for quiet reflection is as natural and valuable as your summer enthusiasm for active engagement. As you rest tonight, you can appreciate how your current seasonal experience reflects the same wisdom that guides all life on Earth through the eternal cycle of seasonal change. Your body's responses, your emotional state, your natural preferences, and even your sleep patterns right now are all expressions of the seasonal intelligence that connects you intimately to the planet's orbital dance around the sun. There's something deeply peaceful about recognizing that you don't need to manage or control your seasonal responses, but simply need to trust the ancient wisdom that guides them. Your seasonal nature knows exactly how to navigate the changing rhythms of Earth's yearly journey, just as it has guided your ancestors through countless seasonal cycles throughout human history. And as you settle deeper into appreciation for your own seasonal wisdom, you might find yourself curious about how this understanding can guide you toward the most natural and restorative rest. How can awareness of your seasonal nature help you surrender completely to the peaceful sleep that your body is naturally preparing for right now? As you rest in the complete understanding of your seasonal nature, let yourself settle into the most natural and beautiful truth of all. Right now, in this very moment, your body is demonstrating the same seasonal wisdom that guides all life on Earth toward the rest and renewal that makes continued growth possible. Your breathing has naturally slowed to match the peaceful rhythm of Earth's eternal seasonal cycle. Each breath you take participates in the same exchange of gases that connects you to the seasonal breathing of forests, grasslands, and all the plant life that shares your seasonal environment. As you exhale, you release carbon dioxide that will nourish tomorrow's plant growth. As you inhale, you receive oxygen that was created by the seasonal photosynthesis happening all around you. Your heart rate has naturally decreased, synchronizing with the slower, deeper rhythms that characterize the restorative phases of all natural cycles. Just as Earth's seasonal energy moves between the active expansion of summer and the quiet restoration of winter, your body naturally shifts between periods of activity and rest. And right now you are entering the peaceful phase that allows renewal and healing to occur. Your body temperature is naturally dropping, following the same pattern that prepares all living things for the deep rest that supports optimal health and vitality. This cooling is not a sign of weakness, but of wisdom, as your body redirects energy from maintaining high alertness toward the cellular repair and restoration that happen most effectively during sleep. Your muscles are naturally relaxing, releasing the tension that accumulated during your day's activities. This physical letting go mirrors the way trees release their leaves in autumn, not as a loss, but as a natural preparation for the renewal that will come with spring's return. Your body knows that holding on to unnecessary tension prevents the deep rest that allows tomorrow's energy to emerge naturally. Your mind is naturally quieting, following the same pattern that allows all of nature to rest between periods of growth and activity. Just as winter's quiet allows the earth to restore the nutrients that will support spring's abundant growth. Your mental quieting allows your brain to process the day's experiences and prepare for tomorrow's possibilities. The seasonal wisdom in your cells is guiding you toward the sleep that your body needs right now. If you're experiencing winter season, your increased melatonin production is encouraging the deeper, longer sleep that matches the season's extended nights and restorative energy. If summer surrounds you, your body is preparing for the briefer but equally restorative sleep that aligns with the season's shorter nights and abundant energy. Your nervous system is naturally shifting from the sympathetic activation that supports daily activity toward the parasympathetic dominance that enables deep rest and healing. This shift happens automatically, guided by the same seasonal intelligence that allows animals to know when to migrate, plants to know when to bloom, and your own body to know exactly what it needs for optimal health. Your digestive system is naturally slowing, allowing your body to focus its energy on the repair and restoration that occur most effectively during sleep. This digestive quieting follows the same wisdom that guides all natural systems toward the rest phases that enable continued vitality and growth. Your immune system is naturally preparing for the enhanced activity that occurs during sleep, when your body produces the cells and chemicals needed to maintain optimal health. This immune preparation reflects the same seasonal wisdom that helps all living things strengthen themselves during rest periods, so they can thrive during active periods. Your hormonal systems are naturally adjusting to support the deep sleep that allows physical and emotional restoration. Growth hormone production increases during sleep, supporting the cellular repair that keeps your body healthy and strong. Stress hormone levels naturally decrease, allowing your body to release the tension that accumulated during your day's activities. Your brain is naturally preparing for the sleep cycles that consolidate memories, process emotions, and clear metabolic waste products that accumulate during waking hours. This neural preparation follows the same seasonal wisdom that allows all natural systems to use rest periods for the maintenance and renewal that support continued optimal function. Even your dreams are preparing to participate in the seasonal wisdom that guides all natural cycles. During sleep, your mind will process the day's experiences, integrate new learning, and prepare for tomorrow's possibilities, following the same pattern of rest and renewal that characterizes all healthy natural rhythms. As you continue to breathe slowly and peacefully, you can feel your body naturally synchronizing with the seasonal rhythms that surround you. If winter's quiet energy embraces you, Your body is preparing for the deeper, more restorative sleep that matches the season's emphasis on renewal and restoration. If summer's gentle warmth surrounds you, your body is preparing for the efficient, refreshing sleep that supports the season's active energy. Your sleep tonight will participate in the same seasonal breathing that governs all life on Earth. As you rest, you will be held by the same gravitational forces that keep Earth in its perfect orbital dance around the Sun. The same cosmic rhythms that create the seasons will continue their eternal cycle while you sleep, ensuring that you will wake to a world that has moved one day further through the beautiful seasonal journey that connects you to all life. The air you breathe while sleeping will continue to participate in the seasonal exchange that connects you to the plant and animal life around you. The thermal energy that keeps you comfortable will continue to flow according to the seasonal patterns that maintain Earth's perfect balance between activity and rest, growth and renewal. Your body's seasonal wisdom will continue to guide your sleep cycles, ensuring that you receive exactly the type and amount of rest that your current seasonal needs require. You don't need to manage or control this process. You simply need to trust the ancient intelligence that has guided life through countless seasonal cycles and knows exactly how to provide the rest that supports optimal health and vitality. As you surrender completely to this seasonal wisdom, you can feel yourself being held by the same forces that guide migrating birds safely to their destinations, that help hibernating animals rest peacefully through winter, and that allow plants to know exactly when to bloom and when to rest. You are not separate from these natural rhythms, but are their perfect expression in human form. Your sleep tonight will be a participation in Earth's eternal seasonal breathing, a contribution to the planetary rhythm that maintains the balance between activity and rest that supports all life. As you rest, you will be helping to maintain the same seasonal harmony that has sustained life on Earth for billions of years. There is nothing you need to do now except allow your body's seasonal wisdom to guide you into the perfect rest that will restore your energy and prepare you for tomorrow's continuation of the eternal seasonal cycle. You are safe, you are held, and you are exactly where you need to be in the vast, beautiful rhythm of Earth's seasonal breathing. Let yourself rest now in the complete trust that the same forces that guide Earth safely through its orbital dance will guide you safely through this night's rest and into tomorrow's seasonal possibilities. You are part of Earth's eternal seasonal wisdom, and that wisdom will care for you perfectly as you sleep. Rest now, held by the seasonal rhythms that connect you to all life, all time, and all the beautiful cycles that make existence possible. Sleep peacefully in Earth's eternal seasonal embrace.